should have done that first. Hi. So I always start a couple of minutes early in case anybody needs help getting on, and I can look at how the camera is facing. So as you log on, maybe type your name in the comments or give a little like on there so I know that you're here. I'm going to make sure I'm muted on here. Let's give this a little twist. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Joy. A little better. Hi, Jean. So we'll get started in just a couple minutes here. Hopefully, I am checking out 2 new software platforms that will help me stream through YouTube. Hi, Joy. And I'm hoping that that helps, because as easy it is to stream through Facebook, they make it very easy to stream. They also don't allow you to turn the camera horizontal. So you get this much of me. It is what it is. You know, I was trying to avoid buying a bunch of software because since everything's moved online, I've bought a camera, I've bought microphones, and it can nickel and dime you to death. Everybody can hear me, right? So if you can't hear me, just type something in there. I'm back to our old-fashioned wired microphone. But it works. This baby works every single time. So if you don't already have them, have all of your props, all your yin yoga props handy. So block, definitely. If you don't have blocks or blankets, it doesn't have to be one of these woven blankets. I think most of you have those regardless, but if you don't, then you can get them on Amazon, and I can put a link on the page later. And then these are always fun. Any one of these bolsters. This is the smaller rectangular. There is a large rectangular, and then some folks have the round ones, which are really nice. And then also, I have on in the background very lightly, and if it's too loud, let me know. But every chakra has a sound frequency that it's associated with. And that frequency is 639 megahertz for heart chakra. So before I get started with the class, hi, Michelle. Michelle says hi to Michelle. Before I get started with the class, if you have YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, any of those, whether it's on your TV, and I'm pointing like you can see my TV on my TV, or on your phone or whatever, you know, your Apple Watch, whatever it is, you can just type in 639HZ if you want something for your own practice tonight to be on in the background besides the little bit of light music I have going here. Joy, I miss your face. I haven't seen you in so long. I think it's been June, July. We met in a parking lot and traded peaches. Seemed really naughty at the time. So 1 more minute. There's usually somebody logging on at the last minute. Hi, Kat. Miss your face too. I haven't seen your face except for FaceTiming in a long time. Okay. All right. Looks good. So again, if you want to put on your own music in the background that is connected with Anahata, heart chakra, the number is 639 megahertz, and you can put that on in the background. That is the frequency that's associated with balancing your heart chakra. So there we go. So good evening, everybody. Blocks, bolsters, blankets, all that good stuff. I wore a little bit of pink and green bracelets for you tonight, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I've got my Himalayan sea salt candle holder up there, and all of the other good stuff that's associated with this chakra. Let's start out just in a meditation seat, and as usual, I will weave in information about the class as you're in the poses, so you're not just sitting here listening to me. You actually get to practice while you absorb, and then I start to trail off at the end and let you just listen. Feel free to dim the lights. Yin is always better with lower lights because we are trying to connect with parasympathetic nervous system, or rest and digest. But for right now, grab your blanket, whether it's one of the woven blankets or any kind of sturdy throw blanket, and fold it up so you have maybe 3-4 inches of depth there. You're going to sit right on the edge, just on the edge, so that your pelvis is tilted slightly. Legs can be crossed. You can also sit back on the heels if this doesn't work. If none of the seated positions work for you, go ahead and lie down on the back. And close the eyes or find a focus point. If you're going to practice with a mudra tonight, the mudra for heart chakra is the open lotus. So how you would do that is you can bring your hands together to start, and hands in Anjaneyasana, prayer pose, or prayer mudra. And then I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but basically I'm bringing my pinky fingers together, my thumbs together, the bottom and the sides of the palms together, and then opening up the hands into this open lotus pose, and that could sit right at your heart. If that's uncomfortable, if that doesn't work for you, rest the palms in the lap. Palms up is receiving, palms down is grounding. And close the eyes or find a focus point in front of you and start taking deeper breaths. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. On the inhales, expand the lungs completely. Open the heart on the inhales. And on the exhales, relax the shoulders, relax the tailbone. Engage the low belly just slightly so you support the spine. And then let's really tune into heart center to start. So right where you think, this is one of the easiest chakras to find physically on the body. Right at heart center, right where you think it would be. And bring that breath right in through heart center. Expand in that area of the body completely on the inhales. And on the exhales, start to let go of anything that you feel like is holding you back there. Relax the eyes, relax the jaw, and completely concentrate on just that area of your body, heart center, that Anahata, that's the Sanskrit term, that Anahata is located, heart chakra. Take about 10 more breaths here. So as you inhale, maybe you picture the color green or the color pink. And then as you exhale, Relax a little more. Settle into your seat. Settle into your meditation seat. Five more breaths. Now, start to think about some of these key words that I'll be talking about throughout the class. Compassion, kindness, love, balance, and think about the air and the space around your body on these last couple of breaths of meditation. Finding the grounding in this space that you are taking up. Feel the balance as the earth holds you, but the lightness of the air that surrounds the body. One more deep breath here. Hold it. Pause at the top of your inhale, and then on a long exhale, slowly open the eyes, blink the eyes open, and switch which leg is in front. We'll do a little seated cat and cow first, and then we're going to take this to tabletop cat and cow. Hands to the shins to start. On the inhale, arch the back, make the shoulders wide, open up through the heart. And then on the exhale, round through the spine, round through the shoulders, even sitting back on the tailbone a little bit, and move back and forth with that range of motion. Because with heart opening poses in yin, we're also doing a lot with the mid and upper spine. So we want to get that warm. We want to get the fluid, the spinal fluid moving. A little more pliability in the vertebrae. And let's get into the shoulders a little bit. If the shoulders are tight and rolled forward, they need to be open. So bring the shoulders up to the ears, back down and forward a few times, and move through that range of motion. So most of us, and you keep doing that while I talk, but most of us, whether we're on a computer, whether we're cutting hair, whether we are driving, we seem to be like this all the time. We're like this all the time, right? So the opposite range of motion is this heart opening. So we have to open the shoulders, open the front of the body, switch directions just to get that opposite range a little bit. And something else that you may notice is when we're protecting our heart, if it's been hurt, if we feel like we need to put up walls, we do this. We cover this all up. So what happens is the back of the body is extended a lot, but all of this is tight. We're protecting ourselves, right? And so we're going to work through these yin poses tonight. Some smaller movements and the yin poses. Let's come into tabletop. Use your blanket underneath your knees. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we'll do a little cat and cow from here. Inhaling, arch the back, make the shoulders wide. And then round through the spine, round through the shoulders again, just like when you were unseated, but from tabletop. And I want you to move with the upper back. So sometimes I say move with the tailbone. I want you to lead and move with the upper back on this cat and cow. And feel the difference between the heart opening movement of cow and then this rounding and closing off of the front body with your cat. Both feel great, especially in a warm-up, but there's definitely a difference. So we'll do a little bit of a demo about the third pose in, where we're moving forward at one point and then back. So you can just really notice the difference between closing off, holding everything in, and then opening up and being receiving and accepting. One more breath here. Come back to a neutral spine, and as usual, I will demo a little bit, but then so you can hear me, I will get back up. So you're going to start from your belly. We're going to start in a Sphinx pose. Starting in your Sphinx pose. So coming up to the forearms, make sure your elbows are underneath your wrists. Roll the shoulders back, chin to the chest. Relax the legs. In fact, bring the legs out a little wider. Bring your legs out a little wider. Relax your bum. Unclench. We're going to have a t-shirt one day that says that. Unclench. So there's your Sphinx pose. You pause there. Close the eyes. Or find your focus point in front of you. So what is a chakra? What is a chakra? And you can just listen and absorb at this point. Stay in your Sphinx pose and breathe. Chakra means wheel, and it refers to the energy points in your body. So wheel of energy. And there's 7 main wheels of energy that we talk about in yoga, starting at root, going all the way up to crown. And this 4th chakra, right in the middle, it is the first chakra, and again, the Sanskrit name is Anahata. It is the first chakra that blends the physical body and the spiritual body. So the first 3, root, sacral, and solar plexus, are all really physically dynamic. And then as you starting to get in the heart chakra, it starts to blend the spiritual, the faith, belief, things like that. One of my teachers, and you've got about 10 more breaths here. One of my teachers, Nechala Devi, she was my teacher's teacher too. I did a long workshop with her. My teacher did a 100 or 200 hour training with her. She uses this affirmation to help balance heart chakra, and most of her work is done with cardiac patients and heart opening exercises. When I am in the place of love and oneness, I feel compassion and love for all. So I will repeat that. When I am in the place of love and oneness, I feel compassion and love for all. Swim in that for just a sec. Jim, I'm glad you made it. I was checking to see that you were in here. So one more breath in your Sphinx pose. Take a deep breath here, and then go ahead and lie all the way down on the earth. Take a rest on your belly. Maybe reach the fingertips back towards the toes, or rest one palm on top of the other. And take what we call a rebound pose in yin yoga. A rebound pose is a short mini shavasana. Sometimes it's on your back, sometimes it's on your belly, sometimes it's on your side. But pause here. Feel the feelings. Feel everything physically that has changed just with a little bit of warm up in one pose. And you're just noticing what's happening in your body. So each one of these chakras has a color associated with it, a physical part of the body associated with it, an element, a frequency like music, a sound, and it also has just kind of this idea of the development of us as humans, of what we're working on at certain points in our life. And that's why those first 3 are very physical. That's about our youth, finding our stability, then our desires, and then our self-esteem. But then as we grow and we mature, then we get into the heart, the love, the compassion, the spiritual part of our lives. Take one more breath here. And then still staying on your belly, bend the knees, soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, and windshield wiper the feet back and forth. You might even pop up the hips slightly. We're just keeping the spine kind of mobile, warmed up. And then come back up to your tabletop for a moment. Come back up to your tabletop. Maybe just a little bit of cat and cow. Just to stay warm. It got cold all of a sudden again this afternoon. And you can have your props all ready here. I'm going to face this way so you can see me a little better. Have your props all ready. And we're going to take a half saddle. And I'm going to give you a couple of options because this might not work for everybody. Half saddle, bend the right knee. The top of the right foot is going to be next to the right hip. You can pick the hips up and move them around a little bit. I'm cushioning my knee because I have this hard floor. Any kind of props you have, you can place behind you. We're not going back yet. We're not going back yet, but they can be back there for now. Relax the left foot. Let it just be kind of limp. You're going to take a deep breath here and roll forward. I should have grabbed another block. I mean, I have the flexibility, but I'm trying not to cut off the microphone. Relax the arms down. So you're folding forward to start. If this hurts your knee, go ahead and take a half butterfly instead. You're more than welcome to take either a half butterfly or the saddle position where the top of the right foot is next to the hip and you're rolling forward. So this is kind of our experiment on rolling forward. We do this a lot in yin because we're trying to get into the ligaments and the fascia and all the stuff on the back that are associated with the spine. But for this exercise, because we're talking about the heart chakra and heart opening, we're going to take a couple of minutes on each side to roll forward and kind of feel that difference of notice that you're closing off. Notice that you're closing off the heart, the front of the body, and it's a protective stance. It's a protective position. And you're going to take about 10 more breaths here. The Anahata chakra, representing the air element, is mutable, ever present. It allows us to remember our essential nature as love and compassion. So think about that for a second. It allows us to remember our essential nature as love and compassion. That means us. We have love not only for others, but ourselves, because you have to start with yourself. So when we are rejected by others, we do this closing off and we stop loving ourselves or being kind to ourselves, being compassionate to ourselves. It allows us to remember our essential nature as love and compassion. We're born with love. It's easy. We love everything. We love butterflies and rocks and our parents and everything when we're young. And then we create these barriers. It's all protection, but working on balancing Anahata, and it is work. That means we start with ourselves. That means you start by looking inside and seeing what it is that you think that you don't like. Take 2 more breaths here. On that last exhale, very slowly roll up, head comes up last. And I'm going to place my block probably behind me just in case I need it. Keep the knee bent, move the hips forward, and then you can start to lean back on the forearms or lie back over any of those props. You can stack up as many props as you absolutely want to, still relaxing the left foot. And again, if this does not work for your body, you can either take a half butterfly or even a half lotus with a prop underneath and fold back. You're still going to, in a half lotus, you're still going to get into the psoas a little bit. But arms out wide. Rotate the palms up. Relax the face. Relax the jaw. So again, I'm going to sit up so I can talk. You stay in your half saddle or half butterfly or half lotus, arms out wide. And it's really nice to have the props behind you because then you can open up even more through the front of the body. Roll the shoulders back and then relax them away from the ears. Take a deep breath in through heart center and hold it. And in a very long exhale, start to melt down. Take the tension out of the shoulders. Take the tension out of the front of the body, the heart, the sternum, even the sides of the ribs. In difficult times, it is necessary to remember who we are at our essence. This reflects our relationship with others as that same divine essence. When the heart is healed, the immune system flourishes. When the heart is healed, the immune system flourishes. So this is all from Nichala Devi, who works with cardiac patients. So in times of stress, in times of pain, in times of emotional hurt, there is a tendency for cortisol spikes. And cortisol spikes will put you in sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. And we're trying to stay in parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Couple of more minutes in this pose. Try and breathe through the challenge. Use the exhale to relax even more. Eight more breaths. Notice the air around you. Notice the space around you. Whenever you're practicing at home, try and create a space that is safe, warm, open, loving, where you don't feel like you need to fidget, where you can settle in and just breathe, meditate, and be as still as you can, because the yin yoga poses are lengthening the connective tissues. And we have a lot that's covering the front of our body, a lot of fascia, a lot of thickening there of the fascia. Two more breaths. At the end of the second exhale, you can tuck the chin to the chest or use your hands to lift your head. Come up to the hands. Use the hands to rotate the right knee. Straighten the legs out. Go ahead and lie down on your back. Lie down on your back. I just happen to have a prop right here so I can be propped up. Lie down on your back and take a rebound from here. Take a rest pose from here. You can rest the arms along the side. Breathe through any sensations that you feel. Tingling, heat, aching. They will go away very quickly. All of those sensations are called the rebound effect. And then slowly bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side a little bit. Let's just warm up the low back just a little bit more. Maybe drop the toes down and then bring the knees back up. That gets into the sacrum area. It's almost like a mini version of the rock the clock exercise. Maybe we'll do some of that on our next live stream in March. Rock the clock from Feldenkrais. And then rock slowly back and forth until you come up to seated. I'm going to turn so it's easier to see me, and I'm actually going to sit on the edge of my blanket this time. Have my prop behind me for the second phase of the pose. And then left side. Actually, let's do a little windshield wiper first. Bend the knees, soles of the feet to the earth, and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Knees to the right, then back through center to the left. And then we'll come into the second side of the pose. So bend the left knee, top of the foot next to the hip. Adjust this in the back, move back a little bit, move the hips up and level them out. Relax the right leg down. And we're going to start by folding forward. Folding forward. And I should have grabbed a second block so I could do one of these. Here, I'll do this. So fold it forward, relax the arms wherever they kind of fall. And this is just, again, for the purpose of noticing the difference between rolling forward and opening up through the front body. So as we roll forward, we're in that protective position. But it's really good for the mid-back, for all of the fascia and the ligaments around the spine, and cover the back. And take a few more breaths here. We're not going to be in this position long. Think about what you're feeling in the target areas that we've been working on. Some of it is hips, but a lot of it is that mid-back, heart center, shoulders. Relax the shoulders. And think about what Nachala said about the immune response. When the heart is healed, the immune system flourishes. So when the heart is not healed, when the heart is hurt, when the heart is damaged physically, emotionally, energetically, and you have the cortisol spikes, you have a tendency to become sick, depressed, moving slowly, fatigued. So opening up the heart, healing the heart, coming into parasympathetic nervous system. All of these things help you to have a stronger immune system. Take one more breath here. And then very slowly roll up. Head comes up last. Pause for just a second. And then you can move the hips farther forward. I'm not going to lie back too much because then I'll be out of the camera. But go ahead and come to your forearms or lie all the way back. And then once again, if having the leg in this position does not work for you, take a butterfly leg. So bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh, or even if you want to get into the psoas still, this half lotus where the heel is on top of the right thigh, and then you can even use your block underneath, and then roll back. Open the arms, rotate the palms up for receiving, relax the head back. So you stay there for a few minutes in your yin yoga pose. Once you're settled in, and you've fidgeted and adjusted and moved your props, and then start to relax into the pose, then take a couple of deep breaths in through heart center. Try and move the chest out. Move the sides of the ribs out. And then on the exhales, relax. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. It's said that the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, is infinite like the sky. It's the door to our inner temple, our soul, the infinite part of ourselves. It's where we transcend ourselves and the world. So that comes back to connecting with your spiritual side, whatever that is to you. And the physical body, of course, it's the heart, but the lungs, the arms, the hands. And in the emotional body, heart chakra is related to being able to love yourself. Love yourself first. You can't love anyone or anything else until you love yourself first. Being able to give and receive love with equal ease. Feeling kindness and compassion for yourself and others, for yourself first, and then others. And having a sense of we instead of only I. So blending all of that together. Physical body, emotional, spiritual. And there is a sense of we-ness. I feel like that's such a big part of yoga. That's what attracts us that love yoga to yoga, is we could go to any gym and work out. I could work out in a gym by myself and get a physical practice in. But the thing about yoga is it creates a we. That word kula, which means community in Sanskrit. And most of us like to practice together. It's important to have a personal practice too, especially a meditation practice. But most of us like that we feeling, that group energy feeling, even if it's through a live stream. We all know we're doing this at the same time, even if we're in different places. A balanced heart chakra gives you a general sense of belonging and trusting in your heart as an inner compass. Trusting in your heart as an inner compass. You're going to take about 8 more breaths here. About 8 more breaths. Settle in. Close your eyes or find your focus point. And just be still. Last couple of breaths. the end of that last inhale, go ahead and roll up. Tuck the chin to the chest. Come up to the hands. Use the hands to rotate the knee up. Straighten the legs out. Maybe bounce the legs around, especially if you've lost a little blood flow. Feeling a little numb there. And then lie down on your back. Lie down on your back. Take a rebound pose. Take a rest on your back. Just pause on your back for a second. Enjoy the rebound pose. I've had several people mention to me, not only from the teacher trainings we did 2 weekends ago, and last weekend and 2 weekends ago, I think it was. Wow, time's flying, right? So 2 weekends ago and 3 weekends ago. But also in some of my public classes, people are mentioning that they're taking other people's classes, whether it's online or in different studios or when they travel, and they're missing the rebound. Once you're used to having that rebound pose after the longer held postures, and you really feel it. You've got to feel it to understand it. I could explain it all day long. Oh, you're giving the body a rest, and you're giving the connective tissue a rest, and you might feel some blood flow or just the tingling of things moving. But until you feel it, you don't really have the concept, right? And then when you go to somebody else's class that doesn't do the rebound, it's really noticeable that it's not there because you're moving from here to here to here. And we don't like that in yin yoga. So from your back, come up to seated just a little bit. And I'm going to give you 3 options. Matsyasana, fish pose. But we're going to do this supported. So it's a big heart opener and a big throat opener. The traditional way I've taught this is with a block on the mid side. So you have the flat side and you have the mid side. That would be the high side. We don't want the high side. So this is the traditional way that I've taught this. And you want that in the upper back, and you're going to roll backwards over it. So in the upper back, the top of the block, just above the tips of the shoulder blades. And then you can put something underneath your head to hold your head up, your arms out wide. That might be too severe for you. So that's your first option. Actually, there's going to be 4 options. The second option is to take that to the flat side of the block. So you're down a little bit lower, same thing. But you want it in your upper back so you have that opening through the heart. Option number 3, if you have one of these small rectangular bolsters, use it like a T, like the cross on the T. And you're going to have that in your upper back, arms out wide. Actually, you could even bring your arms to cactus, up and over. That's almost like a restorative pose. So that's number 3. If you don't have one of those, you can roll up your blanket like a blanket burrito. Blanket burritos, we love those. So the same thing. Upper back, arms in cactus, relax the legs. There is your supported fish pose, your supported Matsyasana. Fancy pants Sanskrit word for fish, Matsyasana. So adjust and fidget. Find your fidget-free zone here in this pose, in your supported fish pose. Open up the heart, open up the throat. Take your deep breaths in, long exhales out. And let's really get into the meditation. I'm just going to give you a little bit and then leave you in this pose instead of rambling like I have been in the beginning of class. So now we are in the mental body. This is almost like an auto response. These thoughts that we have, these emotions that we have. So can you use these concepts in your meditation? I can give and share without expecting anything in return. I can give and share without expecting anything in return. I am blessed with abundance, and I know when to say no and nurture myself. I know when to take care of myself. I can accept things as they are, and I live in balance within myself and with the world around me. There's your meditation. I can give and share without expecting anything in return. I am blessed with abundance. I know when to nurture myself. I can accept things as they are. I live in balance within myself and with the world around me. Last couple of breaths. And once again, you're going to bring either your hands to the back of the head to lift the head, or tuck your chin to your chest. Come up to the forearms or the hands, remove your prop, set it to the side, and then lie down on the back. Lie down on the back. Take your rebound. Relax the upper back, relax the arms, the legs, the hips. The traditional color for this chakra, because they're all associated with a color, is green. And I mentioned pink also. So I don't see this a lot, but I know I have read in the past that a developed Anahata, a developed heart chakra, brings the color pink to you, whether it's rose quartz color or just what you visualize or what you feel. That green is more of the immature heart chakra color. So green, pink, whatever works for you. I wear all kinds of green and pink gemstones on my mat list tonight for you. A couple more breaths here. Connect with the earth. Find the balance in the earth holding you up. And then again, notice the air around you. Notice the space around you. That is the element. That is the infinite. And then knees back into the chest. Just rock side to side a little bit on the low back. Maybe stretch one leg out and then the other leg. we haven't done a lot of legs tonight. There's not about a lot of lengthening of the legs tonight. It's all about the heart opening. And then come to your right side. Lie on your right side. I would like you to stack the legs. Knees are bent. Stack the legs. Stack the arms. So the legs are in table. That means your shins are parallel to the side of your mat. You can have a prop behind you. I'm going to grab this rolled up blanket burrito and put it behind me. If you have a small bolster, you can use that also. And then bring the left arm up towards the ceiling and then out to the side in a T shape. So this is a heart opening version of our twists. Heart opening version of our twists, because we're taking that twist from the mid back and moving it up just a little bit into the upper back. Close the eyes or find your focus point. And these last three poses, I'm going to talk a lot less and let you meditate. I'm going to talk a lot less and let you meditate. Take a couple of transition breaths, deep breaths in, pause at the top of the inhale, and then long exhale out. Use your meditation, whether it's focusing on one of those colors, or the space around you, or the balance, or just the physical inhale and exhale through heart center. Focus your meditation. Move beyond your boundaries. Move beyond your illusions of boundaries and limitations. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Infinite possibilities in your meditation. Eight more breaths. Last couple of breaths. The end of the second exhale, as slowly as you can possibly move, just roll back to the right side. Take your rebound on the right side. Pause there. And then slowly move to the back. Just these last few poses, try and move as slowly as you can. Reach the arms above the head, open the palms, bring the arms out wide. Maybe bring the feet as wide as the mat. Take a deep breath in through heart center. And then very slowly bring the knees into the chest again and rock side to side a little bit. I'm kind of loving my hair up here. I'll just go ahead and take this down now. The clip did its job for as long as it could. And then roll to your left side. I'm going to demo the opposite way so that I'm facing the camera. So roll to your left side. And you're going to stack the legs, bring the legs to table, shins parallel with the side of the mat. Stack the arms out wide. So find your position on your left side first, then open up through the right arm. I have my blanket behind me, so it's kind of supporting my spine and my shoulders. Open up the arms into a T shape. Heart open wide on this. Close the eyes or find your focus point. And wherever, we really don't say anymore, look this way, look that way, but wherever your head and neck feel comfortable. That's why I like the blanket, because then it can support my head and neck. So find your comfortable place in that pose, in your heart opening twist. Close your eyes, find your focus point, take your transition breath. Maybe try and make the exhales a little longer than they were before. Relaxing into the pose. Allowing that peace and compassion and kindness, all those really nice, soft, heart-opening words to flow over you. Let go of the tightness, the stagnation present in the body. And once you try and do that, all of the good stuff does rise up. Maybe try and connect with a feeling of freedom as you open the heart, physically, emotionally, energetically. Last 8 breaths. Last 2. At the end of your second exhale, once again, roll to your left side. Pause on your left side just for a moment. Pause on the left side just for a moment. And then slowly roll to the back. Take a few more breaths of a rebound. And slowly, very slowly, move slowly. Come up to seated for a second so you can set yourself up for the last pose. Either a blanket rolled up, blanket burrito rolled up. If you have one of these smaller bolsters, you can use that instead. Those are really nice. Reclined butterfly. So this is a very restorative style of reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Go ahead and lie back. You want the prop to support the spine completely. And you want your shoulder blades to come around the prop, arms out wide, or maybe arms in cactus. Heart wide open. Reclined butterfly, supported with something, even if it's throw pillows from your couch. Take a deep breath in through heart center, hold it. Try and bring a little more breath and light energy in through the heart. And then on an exhale, relax into the pose. Relax into the pose. Fidget and adjust and wiggle. And I'll give you one more thing to meditate on in this last pose before we end up in a Shavasana eventually. But right now, just pause in this pose for a few more minutes. One of the chants that I've been using for the 15 years I've been practicing, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and may all beings be free. And I will quote my friend Danita, who you guys hear about a lot, who always ends that chant with, and can you do that for yourself first? Can you allow yourself to be happy? Can you allow yourself to be free as well as all other beings? Allow yourself to be still for a few more minutes in this pose before your Shavasana. Allow yourself to stay in this pose, this reclined butterfly, for as long as you want. It can be a few more breaths, it can be a few more minutes, or whenever you're ready, come into a Shavasana. Any Shavasana you want. Traditionally, we do corpse pose. So you'll bring the knees together, roll to one side, and remove the prop, and then come to your back again. You can even cover yourself with a blanket. It's a Florida winter night, so it's a little chillier than we're used to. Find a comfortable place for yourself. I'm going to turn up my music a little bit, the 639 megahertz. It's called Pure Positive Love Energy. You can find this on YouTube. Pure Positive Love Energy. Allow yourself to feel the vibration of this music or your own. Feel the vibration of the space and air around you. Start taking deeper breaths. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, rotating the wrists and the ankles. Reach high above the head, point the toes, arch the back. Take a deep breath in, right through heart center, and then let it go. Bring the knees into the chest and rock side to side just a little bit till you come all the way up to seated. Easy seated pose, sitting up tall, hands to heart center. Thumbs, traditionally, I just say hands to heart, but they like thumbs right in the sternum, right in the center of heart chakra, pressing the palms together and then creating a little bit of space between the centers of the palms. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. And can you start with yourself? Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Next month, live stream. I'll take any suggestions that you want. The last 3 months have been very specific to the season and the reason. So March, we're going into spring, thank goodness. Some things that are coming up. This coming weekend on Sunday, I'll be doing my first workshop in a year in person. It is sold out if you haven't gotten tickets already. Sorry. It's at Atlantic Center for the Arts. So then I just added one today that will be at Ninth Wave Fitness. I just renamed my friend's studio Ninth Wave Wellness, but that will be next month on a Saturday. It's Yin Yoga for Hips workshop. Haven't done that one in almost a year. And the last time I did that one, it was virtual during our lockdown in the spring of 2020. So if you want information about that, let me know. And as we go into spring, we'll be doing things like another restorative teacher training, and that will be at Ninth Wave. Another yin yoga teacher training that will be at All Yoga. And then our beach yoga classes will be ramping up again. They've actually been pretty good, even though it's a little cold sometimes. We've all been able to gather on the beach, and it's been fantastic for the most part. A little bit of high tide issues, but we'll work through that. And then 100 Night Sun Salutations on March 21st for spring's change of seasons. And as always, any of the in-person things for right now, guys, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Vaccinations are happening. People that have been sick, have antibodies, great, but that does go away eventually. If you don't feel good, please don't come to anything in person. Just stick with the online stuff for now. Get tested, take care of yourself, and look out for others too, because that's what this is all about. Can we take care of ourselves, and can we take care of each other? So, till we meet again, namaste.